feel like it's been a while since I've been on here. I think it's just been about 2 weeks maybe, but it feels like forever. But today I'm going to share the last make of February 2026 and my first March make. And my first March make is my Fabric Wheel of Fate Make 3. So stay tuned to hear about these things. If you're new to my channel, my name is Cynthia and you're watching Mountain Accents Sewing. My channel is mainly about sewing, but I do like to share life, hiking, fishing, and other content, but it's mostly about sewing. So welcome all my friends. Thank you for the lovely comments on my last video and for the well wishes for my dad and my family. He does begin treatments next Monday. If all goes well anyway, he will begin treatments. And I may share more about that later if he gives me permission to do so. But I do want to thank you for your kind words before I share my makes. So in one of my previous videos, and like I said, it feels like it's been forever, but I know I talked about wanting to make another cozy make. And I didn't think that I would get a chance to wear another sweatshirt because it was starting to get a little warmer. But the day after I completed the make I'm going to show you, it was so cold and I was able to wear this sweatshirt. I made KnowMe ME2131, this pattern here. And it is a unisex pattern, and it has the sweatshirt and the shorts. The main difference between the version that the man is wearing is that the neckline is not as wide, it's more shallow, and on the female version it does have the wider rib knit. And let's talk about sizing it. This pattern is extra small to XXL, which for each size it gives you kind of a range, and I made a size large based on my measurements, which is 42 to 44 inch bust, waist of 36 to 38 inches, hip of 43 to 45, and my measurements was between mostly in the large, but my hips fell into the medium. And it does come up oversized. I'd heard, I think it's Creativity by T, she made the same sweatshirt and she made hers in a size medium, and she talked about being oversized. I should have went down a size. However, I did want a very cozy, just warm sweatshirt that I could cuddle in. And the fleece that I purchased, I got it from Oak Fabrics. And it's got a very cozy fleece lining. Let me show you the inside. I don't know if you can tell how fuzzy that is, but it is just so cozy and warm. So I did want it to be, yeah, like just something that I could wrap up in if I was cold and just snuggle in. Now, I don't believe I would feel comfortable wearing this out public, out and shopping or anything, but definitely around the house or on vacation or of an evening when you just feel a chill in the air. It's going to be the perfect just cover up just to feel warm and cozy. So it is a beautiful red sweatshirt. This beautiful wide ribbing and I added just a little tag that they sent me, and it's just a piece of ribbon that says "I did it, me." I don't know if you can see that. So I attached that there, and I think it's a little wonky because I had sewed it in, it was straight, and then when I went to attach the neckline, I realized I had it too close to the top, and I had to remove it and put it back on. And it's a little wonky, but that's okay. Got beautiful ribbing at the wrist and at the hemband, and I will share photos at the end of both makes because I am wearing this sweatshirt with my next make in the photos, so I'll just put those at the end. But it is just try not to cover my mic. It's a very cozy oversized make that I know will be perfect for a cool evening or a cold day, just a snuggle. So I do recommend KnowMe 2131, but I would go down at least one size, especially if you're wanting to wear it out and about to other places. But if you're wanting just an oversized sweatshirt for lounging at home, then just go ahead and make the size that you normally would wear. Okay, so I'm having so much fun with the fabric Wheel of Fate. I didn't realize how much fun it would be. But I really like the idea that I am sewing fabrics from my stash, and it's like precious fabrics or fabrics I bought that I just don't know what to do with, or like some of my subscription box fabrics. So I have got, 6 fabrics on my board. The first one that I sewed was the Lion & Coyote Viscose, and then the Dashwood Studio bold print here, and then this black cotton twill was my latest fabric. And I looked in my wardrobe back behind me, and I could not find another piece. I thought I had another piece that was larger, so I knew I couldn't make pants. I really wanted to make either pants or shorts, and I did make a pair of shorts. My first consideration was making the True by Slander shorts, but then I remembered that I had made a pair of lane pants and hacked them into shorts back when I first wanted to test the lane pants pattern. That's Sid Graham lane pants, this pattern here. And at the time that I did that, I just folded my leg pieces up and cut them off. And I had made a mental note to myself that when I made them a second time, that I should flare them out just a little bit where you fold up your hem. And I'll explain more about that in a moment. But I didn't. I just measured down from the inseam how many inches. I thought I'd make them a little longer than my first pair because I wanted to be a little bit above the knee, but not too high up on my thigh. And so I did that. And again, I folded up the pants pattern pieces, and I was able to cut out the front and back pieces and the pockets, and realized that my waistband, that I could not fit it on the fold, so I cut it into 2 pieces and added extra seam allowance since I was going to have 2 seams instead of 1. So let me show you the shorts. They're nothing fancy. Again, this is adding to my loungewear cozy wardrobe, all about comfort. And that is one of the things that I'm wanting to build in my wardrobe, is since I wear a uniform to work, and a lot of times when I'm wearing my me-mates, I'm at home. I do wear my dresses to church, but and I also wear, I guess, some of my nicer things when I go out to town or shopping or out with friends, but I needed things that I can wear when I'm just around the house that is me-made, that's comfortable. And I've not added the drawstring yet, but these are my lane shorts. Very basic. Got the big pockets. There's not a lot to say about them. I've got the seam on the sides. I don't know how well I'm showing that. And then my 2 buttonholes here. On black, it's hard to see, but I am planning on adding a drawstring there. And I didn't want to change my overlocker thread, so I just left my rainbow colored on there and added a little handmade label here. And I can't remember who makes this. I think it's a Kylie the Machine label. Yep. And so that's my shorts. Let me tell you the issue with the hemming of the shorts. I had thought about that I needed to make a change when I made my last pair of lane shorts. And I think what I need to do is actually trace my pants pattern piece to the length that I want and then make my adjustments before I cut it out. So I basically need to go down the pants leg and then angle it out the depth of the hem where I'm going to fold it up, because when you fold it up when it's straight, that it actually on the inside it's a little bit shorter than the actual pants. So then you end up with a little pucker. And the pucker is right. I started at the inseam, so it's on the inside of my leg, so it's not as noticeable. But when I realized the mistake that I made, I had that little pucker show up on the inside, and it's just very slight, but there's a slight pucker on the inside of my legs. But you could eliminate that by flaring out so you have a little extra fabric, so when you fold it up that it would actually meet. That makes sense. I think that should make sense. So that is the only recommendation I would make if you wanted to convert your lane pants into shorts. And I think a lot of the shorts patterns that I have made before, they kind of do have that little point and then flare out a little bit for when you're doing your hem. Just makes it for a smoother hem. And let me talk a little bit about the lane pants. So Sid Graham has a tutorial. If you want to watch her video, you have the option of adding cargo pockets, and it has the slash front pockets. And since I made the shorts, I don't have cargo pockets on here. It's sizes 0 to 34, which is a waist of 24 inch to 54 inch, hip to 34 inch to 65 inch. And she has excellent instructions. It's very easy to follow. And this pattern is oversized. And I don't recall, but I think I went down 1 or 2 sizes from my actual body measurements. I'm pretty sure I went down one size. I'm looking at this now. I went down one size compared to what my body measurements are. So it's a great pattern. Lots of people's made it. Most people do make the pants, and you can make it in all types of fabrics. And this is just a cotton twill that I purchased from Joann Fabrics when they were closing, and it's going to make great pair of shorts for wearing around the house and wearing this summer. And in the photos that I've showing, I've just paired it with like an oversized t-shirt, so you can see what it looked like with a t-shirt, and then with a sweatshirt. Now these pictures are not flattering. They're not meant to be flattering. They're meant to be just cozy loungewear, or yeah, nothing fancy or nothing special, but all about comfort. So I will insert those, and then we're going to spin the wheel. So we're down to 3 fabrics. We have this beautiful Art Gallery viscose, beautiful sweater knit, and this lightweight cotton fabric. And here's my wheel. Now I'm going to attempt to do it from my arm again, because I don't want to have to adjust my camera and then readjust it again. So we will see how this turns out. So let me spin the wheel. And so we got the Art Gallery fabric that we will sew up next. Okay, this is a beautiful viscose, and let's see, I have well, I thought I had 1.5 meters, but it looks like it may be closer to just 1.25 meters. So, yep, I think it's going to make another little blouse. The Art Gallery fabric is the 4th fabric from my Fabric Wheel of Fate. Thank you, Carole, for creating this hashtag, Fabric Wheel of Fate, so that we could sew up our stash. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you are too. And I hope that you, the viewer, are watching some of these other people that are participating. I'm enjoying seeing what other people are making with their fabrics and seeing what fabrics are on their wheels. And I'm going to do my best to get this out to you in about 2 weeks' time. I'm still wanting to continue to sew as much as I can. As I mentioned before, my dad is not well right now, and he does begin some treatments. We thought it was going to start this week, but they're starting next week, and I don't know how much time I'll have for sewing, because I am trying to spend as much time with my parents and helping them if they need help. But so far, it's not required a lot of time, but I anticipate that they will need us more. So continue to think of us. I appreciate all your lovely comments again. I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch my video today. I'd love to hear from you, so let me know in the comments what you're working on. Are you sewing for spring already, or sewing for summer? Or are you still sewing for cold weather? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video.